Hi everyone, it's Katie. Welcome to class. Before we get started, I want to make sure you have the props that you need for today. So if you have a yoga block, you can bring that with you. If you don't have a block, you can grab some books, some thick books, stack them up. That's fine. Also, you're going to need a strap. If you don't have a classic yoga strap, grab a dog leash or your bathrobe tie, or even just a towel. So that we use for getting class. Oh, and put on some music if you like. I'm not going to play music because it kind of interferes with Zoom, but if you'd like, in the background, put on some music. So, also to remember to go at your own pace. And you know that by now, but listen to your body. Don't do anything that feels painful or wrong. Right? Use your intuition. So shouldn't be any sharp pains, no shooting pains, stabbing pains, anything like that. And in your gut will kind of tell you, like, ooh, I have an old injury off here, etc. And then on the opposite end of that, not being lazy, right? That you're getting something out of your posture safely, right? So you can feel sensation, you can feel intense sensation, but not. So just be mindful of that as you practice. Okay. And so today we are going to work on alternate nostril breathing, and toward the end of class we'll get to some shoulders to combat some tension. So let's begin with our check-in. So I want you to close your eyes and just settle into yourself. Right? Let all the other distractions fall away. I want you to check in to see how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay, without any judgment at all, just see what's going on with you today. Once you've checked in with yourself, just note your posture as you're sitting here, eyes are still closed. Feeling that you're tall, right? You have the natural curves of the spine, but you feel the sitting bones sinking into the ground. And then the top of the head lifting up to the sky, shoulders gently fall back behind you. So a little bit of engagement in the belly, just a little bit to feel tall, but then allowing the belly to move freely with the breath. So once you've checked on your posture, check on your breath. What's going on there this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're walking? Whatever your breath is doing, let's nudge it a little deeper here. Get a little bit more oxygen in. A little extra carbon dioxide out. So just encouraging that expansion in the lungs and the rib cage. Breathing into not only the front rib cage, right, but the sides and the back too. Great. And now that you've got that, if you'd like to open your eyes, crack them open. I'm going to just walk you through alternate nostril breathing, and then we can close the eyes and practice together. If you'd like to take the yoga mudra for this breath work, you would take your right hand. I know I'm opposite of you. You take your right hand and bend down the index and the middle finger. It's a little funky. Your ring finger and your pinky and your thumb are up. Right? And that's the mudra that we would swing eventually around to the face, where we're going to block off the nostrils. If that's too much for your hands, not a big deal. You can just use it into grasp, right? And we'll switch that way. So whatever works best. And just a couple things to note about this breathing. It really calms the energy of the central nervous system, and it makes you feel clear-headed, right? It's going to calm you, but also work on your mental awareness. So I'm not going to tell you how to feel after this. We're just going to see what happens. But just seeing how you're feeling before and after, and if you feel different. So, all right, let's begin. So either finding just your index and thumb together, or your yoga mudra with your first two fingers down into the palm. And now swing that hand around in front of your nose. All right, we'll walk through a couple together, and then we'll close the eyes. So if you could, Breathe out, close off your left side with your pinky ring. Inhale through the right nostril. Now close the right nostril, open the left side and exhale. Inhale through the left, close, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Let's close the eyes, everyone. Open the right side and exhale. Inhale through the right. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close, switch sides, exhale right. Inhale through the right. Close. Exhale left. Inhale left. You keep going on your own here, guys. Switch it, exhale right. Inhale your right. So just remember, every time you switch, it's a breath out and then a breath in. And you switch. So if you get confused, don't worry about it. Just breathe normally. But if you can, I want you to go ahead and do this a few more times at your own pace. Finishing off whichever round you're on. Next time you exhale to your right, you allow your hand to drop into your lap, eyes still closed, and just breathe normally through both nostrils. Notice how you're feeling. And then as you're ready, you can slowly crack open your eyes. And then you're going to come to lay down on the mat. So we're going to begin reclining today. So come on down with knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. So just rest your knees to each other, have your feet mat width apart, head just heavy, gazing to the ceiling and see how you're feeling here, right? We've just done some breath work, and it's about time to start moving. So very gently, we're just going to windshield wiper the legs back and forth to bring some movement into the body. Right, wake up those hips a little bit, the pelvis, the waist. And then from here, everyone, let's walk those feet back to hip distance apart, kind of close into your seat, okay? Relax the toes, pressing the four corners of the feet. And then we're just going to take the palms flat on the mat next to us. So we're going to do some bridge vinyasas here. So extend through the cervical spine. Make sure your neck is nice and long. Right? You feel really tall in that neck. Keep your gaze straight ahead, right? We don't want to turn the neck when we start to put pressure in the upper spine. So press through the feet. Inhale, lift the hips up to the ceiling, only as high as comfortable for you, and then exhale, lower back down. So that's our first little vinyasa here. Inhaling, lift the hips. Exhale, lower the hips to the ground, tailbone meets the floor. So a couple more like that. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. And you're moving at your own breath pattern, right? You're not matching me necessarily. Do one more like this. And then letting the tailbone hit the mat. Pause there for a moment. We're going to add arms to this, everybody. So, you know what? Before we do the leg portion, let's just do the arms. I want you to inhale, sweep those arms up overhead, palms face up, so the backs of your hands touch the ground behind you. And then exhale, hands come back down by your sides. Right, so now you know we're going to mix those two together. So on your breath in, lift those hips up and your arms up at the same time. Hips are rising, hands meet the floor behind you. And then exhale, lower your hips and take your palms back next to your sides. Good job. All right, we're gonna do that a few more times. Keep your neck straight. Inhale, lift those hips, arms up. Warming up spine. Exhale, lower it all down. Do 2 more. Inhale to lift. And exhaling to lower. Next time you release, I want you to just take both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And squeezing here. You can rock side to side a little bit. Checking in with the back. And then from here, everyone, we're going to let those feet come back to the floor. And you're going to extend your right leg to the sky and hold on to the back of the thigh. Right? So if your hands are tight, keep a bend in the knee. If you can though, try and flex the foot, getting the toes to come toward the shin. And just stretching through the back of that right leg. See how that feels. Right? If you need a little extra, feel like you could press the thigh into the hand and the hand into the thigh. Activate that leg. You'll feel that stretch. You'll kind of release the stretch a little bit, and I just want you to circle your ankle. Get your foot warmed up. Circle that ankle a little bit. And then switch directions. Now I want you to bend that right knee, open the right hip, take the right ankle to the left knee. Right, and so let that right thigh fall away from you into like a figure 4 shape. See how this feels, and if you can handle more, you're going to take the left knee in, grab hold of the back of the left thigh, and get into the right hip. Flex those feet if you have joint sensitivity. Right? Flex your joints. Breathe here. Neck is still long. Take deep breaths. Beginning of class, you don't have to go crazy. Just warming up. Let's melt now that left foot back to the mat. Cross your right leg deeper over your left leg. Arms out to your sides, away, out of the way. We're going to drop both legs to the left, moving into a twist. Right, your legs don't have to touch the ground. Just waking up that whole mid-body, right? Lungs, digestive system, heart. Breathe deeply. With abs and with control, pull the knees back up to the ceiling. Uncross the legs, take a breath. Right. Even out your spine, make sure it feels nice and tall, and then extend the left leg to the sky. Hold on to the back of the left thigh. Perfect. All right, we're going to flex that left foot. Press through the heel, toes toward your shin. Breathe deep into the back of your left leg. Wake it up. Breathe. And then from here, we're going to let go of the stretch just ever so slightly so you can circle your ankle. Give it some room there to move. All right, switch direction of your ankle circles. And then relaxing with ankle circles, going to bend that left knee deeper so you can open the left hip out to the side, taking the left ankle to the right knee. All right, so a little hip stretch, getting left thigh to fall away from you. See how this feels. Some of us, this might be as far as we want to go, and that's perfectly fine. It is the beginning of class. But if you can handle more, pull your right knee in towards you, grab hold of the back of that thigh. If you can't comfortably reach the thigh with the head on the floor, right, sometimes it's too much of a struggle and a strain, you'd always grab a strap around that thigh so you can really rest your head on the floor. Just holding here. Again, we're not going too crazy. It's the beginning of class. We will hold some of these hip poses deeper at the end. All right, releasing the thigh, letting the right foot melt to the floor, across your left leg deeper over your right leg, right? And then let both legs fall to that right side. Arms just flopped open. See how this feels. I like to keep my neck straight ahead. I have some neck stuff going on, but if you need extra stretch, you're welcome to look away from the knees and add a little bit more to the spinal rotation. Wherever you are in your practice, we're focusing on the present moment. What are you feeling right here, right now? All right, friends, let's take our heads to the ceiling if you have it from there, and then the legs back up. We're going to uncross those legs. And then both knees into chest. One more time, just rock side to side. And then we're going to be coming up to sit. So if rocking up to sit doesn't work for you, just roll over to the side and use your top hand to press you up. If you're okay, we're just going to rock a couple times lengthwise, up and down until you come all the way to seated. Third. Okay. Once you're up here, we're already set up for boat pose. So wherever you are on your mat, your feet are hip distance apart. We're going to grab hold of the backs of the thighs of the hands and roll those shoulders back, right? Retract your shoulder blades. Your heart is lifted. Let's do a little vinyasa here in our boat. So we're going to balance between tailbone and sit bones, lift the feet off the ground. So this can be step one for us. You can stay right here. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can go a little deeper, lift your feet to knee height. All right. Staying here is fine. If you want a little extra challenge today, we're going to extend the arms out. Big breath in as you lift the arms straight to the ceiling. And then exhale as you take the hands back in line with your legs. So 2 more times like that. And if it gets too much, just drop the feet. Not a big deal. Lifting the heart the whole time. One more breath, inhaling up. Exhaling down, hold for a moment, breathe deep. Hold on to the legs, drop those feet. And then we're going to open the thighs out to the sides. Better. So soles of the feet together. And use that to the side. If it's too intense, you can push your feet out further and keep your foot block underneath your thighs if that's better. So whatever you need here. So heart is lifted, shoulders back and down. So notice, what am I feeling in my back, and my hips? Do I need to make an adjustment? If you do, then you do that. If you don't, just breathe here. So wherever you are, just breathing. So if your body allows, I want you to take your hands behind your back and reaching your fingers. A little bit much, right? You're relying on your abs a little bit more to stay up nice and tall. Soft elbows, lift the hand up behind you, whether it's 3, 5, 6 inches, doesn't matter. Just getting into this shoulder stretch and breathe into the space in the collarbones, in the armpits. Big deep breath across the front of the chest. Releasing those hands gently. Taking to the legs. Inhale, your heart lifts. Exhale, I want you to fold forward at your hip hinges just a tad. Just enough to increase the stretch here a little bit. Keeping a flat back. Heart lifting, shoulders back and down. And then again, since you're in the pose, you've got your alignment. Now find your breath. Next inhale, lift you back up. Perfect. All right, we are going to just flip one of these knees over, right, and come into a handing position on your mat. If you're like me, you have sensitive knees, grab a gardening pad, whatever you need. So wherever you are here, we're going to scooch back to child's pose already. So hips for the heels, sitting way back, and then just walking hands forward. Everybody's child's pose is different. So be where you need to be. You can rest your elbows, you can extend your arms straight if you're feeling more active. And if your forehead doesn't comfortably touch the ground, go ahead and grab a block, or you could even take your knees tighter together, that might help. We're going to kind of thread the needle in our child's pose. So if you just lift your head up a little bit, and now take your right arm and thread it palm face up under your left arm. You're going to take the back of that right shoulder to the mouth, in the right side of the face. This left arm can just hang out, or if you choose, you can sweep the left arm behind your back, bending at the elbow. Feel your ribs, notice what's happening in the mid-body. in the back of that right shoulder. If you took your arm behind your back, take it back to the floor and gently help press up, sliding that right arm out in front and weaving the left arm underneath the right armpit, finding that child's pose and with the arm underneath you. And again, you can keep that right arm extended out in front toward the front corner of your mat, or you can drape that right arm behind your back at the elbow. No rules. What feels good for you in your shoulders? Everybody, as you're ready, right arm's going to unwind if you took it behind you. If you didn't, no big deal. We're just going to slide that left arm back in front to child's pose. And child's pose is a great placement for downward dog, right? So you feel like your hips are as low as they can go, and then your hands are shoulder distance apart with the elbows lifted, shoulder blades on your back. We're going to lift up to hands and knees. We're going to tuck the toes and find our downward facing dog. Right, so it is first down dog. We did warm up the legs a little bit, but if you need to pedal those feet, pedal those feet. And finding your perfect down dog, wherever that is for you. And let that tension kind of release from the head and neck and just fall out onto your mat. Lifting tailbone nice and high, belly engaged a little bit. Fronts of the legs lifting. So if you have like deep ankle creases in the front of your ankles, feel like you could lift your kneecaps up and kind of let those little ankle wrinkles unwrinkle. Nice job, everyone. We're going to take a peek forward and we're just going to walk gently the feet to the hands. Once you get up there, really find a lazy ragdoll. Feel free to bend your knees and rest your belly on your thighs. Arms hanging heavy. Right. Notice the heaviness in the feet, right? The four corners of the feet pressed, the toes are relaxed. Notice the legs, how strong they are, right? You're kind of hugging the muscles to the bones. Engage the belly a little bit and then start to roll yourself up, little by little from the lower spine to the top. And nice and slow, and make sure the head comes up on an inhale so you don't get dizzy. And once you come to the top of the mat, check your breath. You're sitting, your mountain pose, and your breath is nice and deep. We're in our Tadasana. So from here, we're going to do some sun breaths, and some twisting sun breaths. So as you're ready, inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. And then exhale to dive forward into a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, so sliding hands up shins, flattening out your back, engaging your belly. Exhale, fold into the legs. Relax that head. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, arms all the way overhead. Exhale, palms at heart. Again, inhaling those arms all the way up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale, we're coming all the way back up. Big inhale. Exhale, palms at heart. Right, I'm just going to twist in the upper body. So inhale, just sweep the arms up overhead. Then exhale, twist to one side, dropping your arms down to the side. Inhale, we're going to come back up, untwisting arms to the sky. Exhale, twist as arms fall down. Got it. Inhaling up. Exhale, twist. And up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up, palm feet. Exhale, palms at heart center. Do a modified version sun salute. So back at the top of your mat if you're not there. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale to your half lift position. And then exhale, you're going to walk your right foot back into a lunge. So step way, way back. Right, ground through that back leg. And then inhale so you can sweep your arms up to the sky. If this is too much, take your hands on your hips or drop your back, your bottom, right, your back knee. Holding your high lunge, just a couple breaths. When the exhale comes, take either hand to either side of the front foot. And both hands to the front foot. Step that front foot to your downward facing dog. Holding here, breathe. And if you'd like to join me, I'm going to do a modified little vinyasa here. If you're used to doing the full plank, chaturanga, up dog, go right ahead. On the next inhale, we're going to drop the knees and come forward into a knee plank. On the exhale, we're going to lower nice and slow to the belly. On the next inhale, into a baby cobra. So just lifting the heart with the back muscles. Release it, tuck your toes, exhale to your downward dog. Nice. Holding your downward dog, breathing here. And then taking a peek forward, guys, we're going to step the right foot up. So use your belly to step the foot up. If it's too much, you can always drop your knee and step the foot up. So however you need to do it, come to the lunge on the other leg. Round through that back leg as you inhale up into your high lunge on the other side. Draw your tail down, pull the belly in, breathe deep. Feel like your hips kind of squish together, squeezing toward each other. Draw your tail to protect your low back. And then from here, we're going to take both hands to the front of the mat. And we're just going to step the back foot to meet the front foot. Inhale to a half lift position. Exhale, fold back into the legs. So ground through those feet. Inhale, reverse your swan dive all the way to stand. Exhale, palm that heart. Perfect. So from here, I want you to step your left foot back. We're going to come to a warrior one. You know your warrior one, you can get situated. If not, get the hips to face the front of the mat. There's a little bit of width between the feet, right? And then you're going to bend that front knee. Bend that front knee, draw your tailbone down. Right, getting the hips to face toward the front of the mat. They don't have to be exact and perfect, right? Just feel your body out and what feels good. No pain, but you can feel a stretch to the front of that left hip flexor. If this feels okay, you can handle more arms scoop up to the sky here, Virabhadrasana 1. Holding here. So play with your gaze here, guys. Like notice if the eyeballs look at the floor versus if the eyeballs look at the ceiling. Go straight ahead. And do you feel different when you change your focal point of drishti? All right, as you're ready, we're going to take both hands to the hips and now straighten your front leg without locking the knee. And move into a revolved triangle. I want you to take your left arm up to the ceiling. Keep your back flat, fold at your hip hinges so you can't go any further with a flat back. And then we're going to let this left arm just fall down to the right shin. If you've got a block handy nearby, you can take your block on either inside or outside of the foot, whatever works best for you. So back is still straight and nice and long. And then we're going to add a twist. So belly button's going to twist your body to the right side of the mat. Breathe here. It's a little bit of balance in this pose. Not easy. So find your perfect spot. If you need more, right arm extends up to the ceiling. Energy out those right fingers, squeezing the belly. All right, untwist, come back around. You can leave your block there. We're going to inhale up. And then from here, we're going to refine the warrior one leg. So rebend that right knee. But this time, we're going to interlace our hands behind our back. So we've got warrior one, so really solid in both legs. Press through your back leg especially, because I want you to fold forward now on the inside of that right knee. It doesn't have to be far, wherever you can go. If you want to drop down on the inside, drop the head, you can. And then if you're up for it, taking the hands that are interlaced up toward the ceiling away from your back. Soft elbows, no straining in the elbows. Breathing here. Pressing evenly through those feet. I want you to inhale yourself back up nice and slow with control. Great job. We've got one more pose on this leg. So uninterlace those hands. Give that front leg a break and grab your block if you have it. If you've got a set of books, you're just going to take those books out to the left corner of the front of your mat. I'm gonna move back just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So if you've got a yoga block, grab it in your hand. Your legs are in the same stance as they were in your warrior one. We're gonna take that block in the left hand. Okay, hop your left foot in a little bit. So we're gonna take this block way out to the left, top left corner of the mat, right hand on hip. Look down, don't look at me, right? Look down, see if you can lift your left leg. So think warrior one legs. All right, flexing through that back foot, pulling in that belly. Now, if you are up for it and you want extra, just like we did in our revolved triangle, we're gonna twist the belly to the right again. And extend the right arm if you choose. You don't have to. Into our revolved half moon. Very gently and gingerly without falling. See if you can come out. Bend the standing knee, plant your back foot. Inhale your arms up to your warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the floor. We're gonna take that right foot to downward facing dog. If you prefer to take a vinyasa here, be my guest, go right ahead. And then meet us in down dog. Breathe. All right, so before we leave down dog here, we're gonna take the right hand to the outside of the left leg, a little down dog twist. Holding here, keep hand to that left armpit. And taking the right hand back to the mat, take a breather. Checking in, making sure you're okay. And then we're gonna take that left hand underneath the body to the outside of the right leg and twisting down dog, other direction. Find your breath. It's okay to work hard as long as you're breathing deeply. Taking that left hand back to the mat. And then when you're ready, we'll look forward. We're gonna step the left foot up to the front of the mat. We're gonna plant the right heel down and in for warrior one, about a 45-degree angle. And inhale yourself up to stand. Big inhale so you don't get dizzy. Perfect. Bend that front knee, back leg straight. Arms sweep up if your shoulders are okay with it. All right, so see what you're feeling in your warrior one. Is it hips? Front hip flexor? Is it back? Is it back calf? Everyone's different. All right, friends, we're gonna just take the left hand to the hip and we're gonna straighten the left leg. Moving into our revolved triangle. So you're gonna come forward at the hips, flat back, letting the right hand fall either toward the left shin or a block near that left foot. So just make sure that your back is still straight before you twist it. And then when you're ready, belly button takes you to the left. You can keep your left hand on hip, or you can extend it up to the sky. So you choose, breathing deep, no matter which version of your revolved triangle you're in. And checking to see you're not jamming into that block on the ground or the floor. You're using your belly to lift your top arm up to the sky. And where's your breath? Perfect. Untwist the belly, coming back out. You can leave your block around that area because we're going to need it. And inhale yourself back up. Perfect. Bend that front knee. Interlace your hands behind your back. Soft elbows. Heart lifts, feel super tall. And then you're going to fold forward on the inside of the left knee. Listen to your body. You're okay here. Take your hands up toward the ceiling. Some people call this humble warrior. Ready, everyone? Use your belly, use your back leg, inhale yourself back up. Give that front leg a break. Uninterlace your hands. Okay, we're gonna prep for our revolved half moon. So your block can stay where it is, or you can grab hold of it. I like to take it with me so I can plant it where I want it. I'm just gonna step back a little bit so I didn't hit my head on that little, whatever that is. All right. So here we go. We're hopping our back foot in enough so you can take your block out toward the right corner of your mat. Left hand on hip. As you're ready, lift your right leg. It could just be big toe on the mat too in that right leg. If you're not up for it today, don't do it, right? But if you are up for it, lifting the leg. And then extending through the spine, right? The tail and the head move away from each other, then twist the belly to the left. Listen to your body if you can handle it, taking the left arm up into the revolve half moon. Listen to what your body needs. If you need to take a break or back off just a little, or if you're okay. And we're gonna untwist. Plant that back foot. Get the block out of the way, hands to the mat, step that left foot to downward facing dog. Again, if you need a vinyasa, you're more than welcome to take it. Take a look forward. We're going to walk the feet to the front of the mat. Let your head hang here in a lazy ragdoll. I feel like the tailbone lifts. Upper body's like a bowl of spaghetti. Can you shift your focus to your lungs, your rib cage, and the breath that's coming in and out? All right. Ready, everyone? Very gently roll yourself up to a standing position. Coming all the way to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Get your bearings. And this is where, there's a couple of poses I asked that you grab your strap. So go ahead and grab your strap now. Your bathrobe tie, your towel, whatever you got. We're gonna try and take this strap around the bottom of the right foot. Okay. Once you've done that, find your mountain pose. Always having that mountain pose alignment in almost every single posture, right, that we do. And then when you're ready, we're just gonna try and shift the weight to the opposite leg and bend that other knee so the foot rises, and you can use your hands for support. So at first, you will be at a bent knee. So we have a couple options here, everybody. You can either take your knee out to the side from here, or we're gonna straighten this knee first. So you choose bent knee or straight leg. You're holding onto your strap, your shoulders are down. Strap will help keep your shoulders from coming out of their sockets, right? If you're okay here with straight leg, come out to the side, nice and slow, with control. You have to be all the way out to the side. Find your perfect spot. And if you're still okay, whether the knee bent is bent or straight, I'm gonna extend the opposite arm out to the side. And if you're still okay here with balance, you're gonna gaze out over your opposite arm. Little by little by little. And slowly take our gaze back, taking the hand back in on the hip or the strap. The leg that's outstretched comes straight ahead, bend that knee, and take it back to the floor. That was really good, great. So for a moment, I want you to just close your eyes here in mountain. Feel the left leg versus the right leg. I didn't tell you which one to do, so I don't know which one of yours is humming, but it should feel a little different. Or it could feel a little different. And then as you're ready, reopen your eyes and we'll try the other side. I think I told you which side to do, but I don't remember. So other foot takes the strap. Opposite hand to hip. When you're ready and you feel like you have that mountain pose, your belly is somewhat engaged, you have your deep breath, and you have that attitude of non-attachment. When we fall, we fall, we wobble. It's just about experience, right? And focus. As you're ready, bend the other knee. So if you know the straight leg option is not going to work for you, you can now draw your foot out to the side with a bent knee. But if you want extra challenge, you're going to straighten that leg first. And then draw the leg out to the side. Find a focal point for your eyes, right? Don't watch me on screen. Find something to stare at. If you're okay here, opposite arm can extend. And then gaze might go over the opposite arm, but it doesn't have to be today. Listen to your foot, your ankle, balance, your breath. If you did gaze over your outstretched arm, take your gaze back gently, then take your arm back. And then whichever version your leg is in, close the hip and draw the foot back to the floor. Right, we'll shake out those legs a little bit. And you can just let your strap come back to your mat, off to the side. And then come to the front of your mat. We are going to make our way to the belly. So finding that top of the mat, we'll just flow down a little bit. So finding Tadasana, squeeze out all the air, then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. And then exhale, guys, we're just going to walk back to down dog. If you prefer to do your plank chaturanga, upward facing dog, that's fine. This might be the last opportunity to do it if you choose. Wherever you are in your down dog, we're going to drop the knees to the mat. And then we're just going to shift forward onto our bellies. So make a little pillow with your hands under your forehead and let your heels drop open into crocodile. So no effort in the body at all. And just see how you feel here in a supine, or prone rather, supported position. Right, a lot of times we're on our back. How often do we lay on our belly on the floor? And what kind of a feeling is that for you? Do you like it or not like it? All right, so upper body stays the same. I just want a little bit of effort in the legs. So if you could take the tops of the feet to press into the floor, hip distance apart. You might press a little bit and notice like your knees or your quads there bounce off the mat a little. So just front of the pelvis pressing into the mat and just lift left leg off the mat, just an inch or two. So the left hip bone is still pressing, but the entire leg is lifting. If it's too much, you can always bend the knee. All right, dropping the left leg, taking a breather. Left top of the foot presses, inhale the right leg up. Breathe deep. If you're not breathing, lower the leg. All right, lower the leg. Take a resting breath. All right, firm up those legs again. Front of the pelvis, press into the mat. See if you can lift both legs off the mat, even if it's just a teeniest bit. Where's your breath? And lower the legs. Keep the legs active. I want you to feel like from your pelvis to your toes, it feels cemented into the floor, right? Legs are engaged. And now we're going to lift our upper body. So keep your little pillow glued to your forehead and lift it off the ground. So you're going to lift your upper back and your heart with your back muscles. Breathing here. Right, if you're filling and emptying those legs, there is movement in this back bend. And then lower everything down and crocodile again. No effort, let the heels drop open. All right, we've got one more. I want us to draw the hands by the sides of the body, pinky fingers in, forehead on the mat. All right, so again, firming up the legs a little bit. And then big inhale, I want you to lift both legs, both arms up, head, and just kind of fly through the air in a locust pose. Remember, it doesn't matter how high. Trying to get the lift in the heart and the legs a little even. And then lower down, making the pillow with your forehead and dropping the heels out. Relax everything.
Let's bend the knees, everyone, so the feet are in the air. And windshield wipe your legs back and forth. Okay, from here, release the feet to the mat. And then I want you to take your fingertips out next to you. Kind of tent the fingers shoulder height away from you. So your elbows are kind of like in a cactus position. And so all I want us to do here is inhale, lift the heart a little bit. And then exhale, take your right shoulder down toward the front of your mat under your face and stretch to the shoulder that way. And inhale up. So that's the moo. On the exhale, left shoulder dips down in front. Inhale, it lifts back up. Exhale, right shoulder. Inhale, we lift back up. Exhale, we dip other side. Just do a couple more of these. You can do them at your own pace. Doesn't feel right, of course. Take a break and just rest. Let's do one more each side. And then when you're done, we're gonna come back to crocodile momentarily. Rest the forehead, heels drop open. All right, friends, draw your hands by your armpits. Tuck the toes underneath. We're gonna use our arms to help press us up into a hands and knees and back into a child's pose. So finding your perfect child's pose for you. Releasing the back. You can take arms outstretched. You can have them by your sides, whatever feels best. All right. Wherever you are in your child's pose, you're gently going to push yourself up to seated. And then go ahead and find a comfortable seat and find your strap as well. You're sitting however is comfortable for you, on your blanket, on a block. Get comfy. And then we'll grab our strap in front of us. So having the strap all the way extended, make sure it's long enough. And if you are tall and have long arms, you need a long strap. All right, so we're going to take the strap in front of us and just place your hands about shoulder distance on your strap, maybe a little wider. So we'll be lifting the strap over the head and giving it enough give to take it all the way behind the back, right? And this is, you have to really play with this because you don't want to give too much give, but then you don't get a stretch. But you don't want to give too little and then overdo it. So finding that perfect spot, right? We'll just come back up and over and we'll do that again. So each time we come back over, we're going to take our hands and take them shoulder width again. So let's move with the breath if we can. Inhale, lift your heart up, or your arms up, your heart up too. Exhale, hands behind your back, giving a little bit on the strap, but not so much where you don't get a stretch. Inhale back up. And exhale forward in front of you. And then switch it again. Take those hands back, shoulder distance, inhaling up. Exhale back. Use your breath. You can even do this with eyes closed if it feels good. Inhale back up over your head and exhale forward. Let's do one more. Taking those hands shoulder distance again. Inhaling up. And exhaling back. Last one, back over the head. Exhaling forward. And we'll take the strap off to the side. We're going to work into a double pigeon or fire log pose, some people call it. The bottom leg, we're almost in it right now. We just have to make a couple little adjustments. The bottom leg, that you have your shin parallel to that side of your mat. So it's further away from you. That heel is not tucked in close. It's kind of far away. Right? And then we're going to mirror that with the top leg. You're going to stack your ankle to your knee and your knee to your ankle. So that when you look down, you should have a little triangle there between the legs. If this is too intense, lots of things you could do. You could take a block to support that top knee. You can extend your bottom leg straight, a nice gentler version. So whichever works for you, it doesn't matter as long as you get the stretch. So finding your pigeon legs, and some of us might already feel it here. Flex the feet too, protect the joints, nice tall spine. Find your breath. And then listen to your joints when you ask the question, can I go a little deeper? If the answer is yes, with a flat back, start to fold forward at your hip hinges. And you only go to the spot where you start to feel that sensation. Everyone's different, right? So listen to your body. Sometimes it's nice to have blocks out in front of you even to rest elbows on if you can get that deep. There's no rules here, everyone, right? Just listen to what's going on in your joints and your muscles and your fascia. Just listen to your body and what it needs. Notice if your mind is starting to run away with you, right? Bring it back to this present moment. When you feel ready, you'll start to come out of the fold if you folded. And then very carefully, with control, unwinding the legs, and we'll switch to the other side. And each side will be different. So you could have done the full version on one side and then you need to modify on the other side, or vice versa. So come on and try getting in, stacking the shins and calves, flexing the feet, and see how that feels. If it's way too intense, you support your top knee with your block, or extend your bottom leg straight. Make those necessary adjustments for you to be able to release into the pose, right? We're not fighting this pose. We want to relax and release into it to gain the benefit. So see where you're at and see if that top hip needs a little time to let go. And if it does, we'll just sit here for a while. But if you happen to be more flexible in those hips and hands, piriformis, all that area, we can start to fold forward. But just like the other side, everybody, pay attention to what you need. The slower you move, the better. Right? Less chance for injury and more room for growth and deeper stretch. So holding these poses a little bit longer than our strengthening postures. I just ask that you just monitor your thoughts and your observations and try and stay present. Taking a moment to see how you feel, and if you're okay, we're going to walk your hands back up, coming out of the forward fold. And very carefully unwinding the legs. Go ahead and extend them out just for a couple breaths so we can shake them out a little bit. Great. Now I want you to come to lay on your back. We're almost done. We're almost done. Go ahead and lay down. And just like we started class, feet are wide, knees together. I want you to windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Nice release after that last pigeon pose. Right, this is great to just even out that whole SI joint, lower back area, resetting your hips and pelvis. And then from there, we'll take both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug, then circle the knees. Switch directions of your knee circles. And then as you're ready, we'll let those feet come to the mat. So it's getting that time where we really need to move into Shavasana. But if there's something you didn't get that you really need, your body feels like it needs, go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and do all your last little postures or moves that you feel you need. However, if you're good to go and you don't feel like you need anything, you can come to relaxation pose. And that's different for everyone, right? If you have a wall near you, it's nice to put your legs up the wall. You can just extend those feet, flopped open, palms up. I like to make a little roll with my blanket for my neck. Do whatever you need to do. Maybe you want to slide a pillow under your knees. Get comfortable and get all your fidgeting out once you're ready. And you'll close those eyes. If you have lavender oil or an eye pillow, go ahead and use those. So just take a moment to sink into the floor. You did a lot of active postures today, and now it's time to let the body kind of acclimate and just soak it all in. You must really let go and rest in order to renew, rejuvenate. I want you to feel a soft wave of relaxation just go over your entire body, from your head, spreading over your face, down your neck, your shoulders, your arms to your fingers, entire torso, the back and front body to your hips. And that wave of relaxation makes its way further down over your thighs, knees, lower legs, tops and bottoms of the feet. So your whole body is heavy and soft and completely relaxed. Let your breath be completely natural. You don't have to do a thing to change it. And let the jaw feel like it's completely letting go, even the tongue in the mouth. We'll stay here for a few minutes.
Wherever you are in your relaxation, ask yourself if you need more time. Once you're zooming at home, you have that luxury. Please feel free to stay here as long as you like and come out of shavasana on your own time. However, if you do feel ready, you can begin to make those tiny little movements in the body, fingers and toes, in your breath, and taking all the time you need to eventually bend your knees forward to the side. Once you're on your side, taking a moment to push up to seated. And taking from the heart center. And with eyes closed, really acknowledging the light within yourself. The same spark of light inside you is inside everyone else in the world that we come across in our day-to-day lives. And honoring your own life gives permission for them to honor theirs, to honor each other. So really paying attention to that divinity within yourself and honoring that as you go about your day.